In this video, I'll be breaking down the AI gold rush that just started, why it's quietly creating hyper profitable businesses at a scale that used to require a massive staff, and how you can actually position yourself to capture it before everyone else catches on. Through my work building AI systems for businesses, I've discovered that a small group of owners are already using this shift to run lean, highly profitable operations, doing the work that used to take entire teams, while almost everyone else has no idea what's even happening. That's exactly why I'm making this video today, to show you what this gold rush is, why it's so profitable, and where to actually start capturing it in your own business. A great question would be, what is the actual gold rush? AI is no longer theory. AI now has the ability to what used to take entire teams of people to actually accomplish a result. It can now do that with just a lean amount of people. You have to understand, most people dreamed of things that AI is doing now, and now it's now possible for entire teams that used to take hundreds or maybe even thousands of people to be only a quarter of that, or even maybe less than 20% of that. What used to be just big tech is now available to the actual business owner to create systems and processes that help you move faster, while also actually not having to hire more people. That means your issue with actually hiring somebody else on and spending all that time where you have to onboard them, and before you onboard them, you have to take them through their mistakes, or you have to show them exactly how it's done. Forget about that, because you know you risk the possibility of that person leaving in the next 3 months anyway. Now you can create a system, actually plug a person in just to watch over the system that understands it, and they can see it once and see it done and duplicated over and over again. This direct influence helps with volume work. Think about it. If you always have the phone ringing, you only have 1 to 2 people that could possibly answer the phone at one consecutive time. But now with systems like this, even the phone is now being leveraged with AI, because you have an assistant that is automated, that knows all your processes, that has a knowledge base based off of what you are able to provide to the market, that can take care of multiple calls at once, when you used to have to get a busy line or some type of automation that would happen to say that, hey, I can't take your call right now because that person is actually busy. That is no longer the case. And this is not just some shift that's going to affect something once. This is a genuine shift that replaces how the market or how people experience your business, because you got to keep in mind, this changes the fundamental math on what your business can actually do. You think about it like this: one person that you have on staff, you can only handle one customer. Now this system can possibly handle not just one, but 10, 15, 20, even 50 customers at one time. And when you have numbers like that, you have to understand, businesses that take advantage of this opportunity early on have the ability to scale beyond measure, while their competitors are left behind wondering how they are accomplishing this result without actually hiring more staff. So the gold rush is real, and it's happening now. If you're a business owner, you understand that most businesses, the biggest cost is actual people. And the more people you have, the more you're at risk of going against your profit margins, because you hired a person to take care of a problem. But if the problem arises and your revenue doesn't rise at the same time, that's where we have an issue. Because let's be honest, people can only handle so much at a certain capacity based on the level of experience a person actually has. And then even if they have a level of certain experience, it doesn't matter, because that is only one person. Imagine if you had an entire system that knows how to handle it based off of what you've already programmed it to do, and can scale exponentially based on the number or volume of calls or things that you have to handle that you have put in place that you call your process. So imagine you're able to actually expedite the process and keep that process going, but not having to add more overhead on the actual business. Now that relieves a lot of pressure that a lot of business owners, if you're being honest, they wish they didn't have to worry about. Now, if you have a system that was able to actually handle the volume of what your business was doing, you do not have to worry about the cost of adding more overhead. And let's be honest, most business owners, the reason why they decide to stop scaling is because they are afraid that their current capacity of their staff cannot handle the volume that would come with actually scaling the business because the lack of resources to hire more staff. But if you take that bottleneck away and you only have to focus on making sure the system is in place, making sure the system understands your processes, making sure the system understands the result that you're looking for, every dollar that it brings in can move more towards profitability instead of lost profit. This lets a lean business produce the results of a much larger business, capturing the revenue of scale without the cost of scale, and grow without the usual cost of hiring and managing a whole new team. I know companies right now that operate like this, but they look much bigger to the average person because they are making sure that no one is left behind. What does that mean? That no revenue, no person, no client is left behind based off this model, and them improving their systems instead of needing more people. So the actual economics are what makes this an actual gold rush. The clearest place where this is already playing out is one specific kind of automation almost every business can use. Why are voice agents the clearest example of the gold rush in action? Because handling calls, qualifying leads, booking calls, and making sure customers are supported are one of the biggest costs that a business actually face. Whether it might be a person having to stand there or sit there to answer the phones, or making sure that the person that is calling for the appropriate reason that gives the business revenue, or a person might be calling and they could be wasting a person time. And while they're wasting that person time, that is actually costing the business money because they cannot focus on a higher leverage task that brings the money or the value of what they're paying that person back even 2 times to the business. You have to understand that voice agents now are setting the tone of what business in the future looks like, because now they help us redefine value. They don't replace the human. They exchange and take the human to a higher level, but also it sets a certain expectation now in the marketplace for the people or your competitors that don't have them, for people to perceive you at a higher level than them, or to make sure that what you provide, you do not miss because you were able to capture the call without worrying about if somebody was going to be able to answer the phone. AI voice agents can now handle the calls around the clock without someone having to be present, or to make sure that they receive the message, or to make sure that they schedule the call or book the meeting. AI voice agents are not next year, they are now. You have to be honest. If you were able to alleviate yourselves from making sure somebody was to answer that call, or making sure they were able to answer it in an appropriate way, wouldn't that be beneficial to your actual business and the focus that you have to put on it? If you didn't have to worry about someone having to leave for a lunch break, or somebody to replace that person to put them in the place of the person that was taking those calls for their lunch break, how much would that actually bring back to your business? because they were focused on a higher leveraging task and not a low value task for what you are actually paying them. You really have to be honest and think about this. The phone and the follow-up are where most businesses are leaking revenue. So a voice agent captures that lost revenue directly and often pays for itself many times over. Now that you see where this gold rush is already playing out, if you want help capturing it in your own business, click the link below to book a call where I show you exactly where your business is losing time and money and how to fix it. Let's keep going. Most people are either on two levels of the spectrum. Some people are fearing AI, so they see it as something that's going to replace them. And then other people are too impressed by it. They don't really see where the opportunities are, but they are so enamored by it that every app they see come out or everything that they think will make their lives better, they spend so much time doing it, but they miss the part where they see business opportunities to make more revenue. This leaves most owners really either dismissing AI or just too far on the sidelines, not realizing that the opportunity is here and your business is either going to be leveraged by it or it's going to leverage it. Many owners are keeping themselves behind because they're not sure that it's going to work for their business, which is really the real belief gap, keeping it from actually working in your business, because all of this is tools to actually help your business grow. Closing this belief gap is the difference between the owners that capture more revenue and the ones that lose out and miss out on this opportunity. So the belief gap is what's keeping most owners out of it. The key to actually understanding this is to make sure that you know that AI should be built in as a system and not just a random tool. What does it actually take to capture the opportunity in your business? It's really all about your perspective. You have to treat AI as a business system to leverage your actual expertise or what you already know how to do. Most people are seeing it as a tool that they just bolt on and think it's going to fix failed systems. And it's not that. The best way I've seen this work out for my clients is identifying gaps where they are losing time, missing opportunities, or creating friction for customers, and then actually building a system that solves that problem. Listen, that is completely different from all these softwares that you bought and they made you conform your way of doing business to how that software operates. You have to move from looking at software as a service to moving to service as a software. The value is in the system being built around the business. A great starting point is calls, leads, and routine work that costs more in time than it does bring back money. Now you see what it actually takes to capture this. Let's bring everything together so you can see how to position your own business for what's coming. So what's the actual plan to position your business for this gold rush? You have to become more aware that this is happening than not, that the shift is already here. You're waiting for AI and AI is saying, listen, you are already behind. You have to decide that the cost of waiting is way more expensive than the cost on taking action on this because your business depends on it. You have to understand that whenever something new comes into the marketplace and other businesses take advantage of this offer, they actually set a new precedent on what it looks like to do business. The second thing is to identify where your business is actually losing money, costing you time, and basically taking away the advantage of your employees or you from doing higher value work. The third move is building a system actually around the business where you can see high impact in return, like your calls or your leads, instead of chasing all this technology that doesn't impact your business. The businesses that capture end up hyper profitable at a scale that used to require a massive staff, while everyone else is doing this by hand and wondering how they're getting left behind. Now that you've seen the AI gold rush that has actually just started, why it's creating hyper profitable businesses at scale, and how voice agents are already making it happen, you can stop watching it from the sidelines and start positioning your business to capture it before everyone else catches on. If you want help building this into your business, click the link below to book a call where I'll show you exactly where your business is losing time and money and how to fix it. I'll see you on the next video.